Sexy body. Move your body. Sexy body. Move your body. Move your body. Move your body. It's gonna set you free. Move your body. It's gonna set you free. Move your body. It's gonna set you free. Move your body. 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 Sexy body. Shake your body. Sexy body. It's gonna set you free. Rock your body. Rock your it's gonna set you free. Rock your body. 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 Rock your it's gonna set you free. Rock your body. Rock your it's gonna set you free. Rock your body. Music's gonna set you free. Rock your body. It's gonna set you free. Rock your body. Music's gonna set you free. It's gonna set you free. Rock your body. 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 Move 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 your body. Rock 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 your body. It's gonna set you free. Rock your body. Move 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 your body. Rock your body. Rock your sexy body. Rock your body. Rock your move your body. Rock your body. Rock your body. Move your body. Move your body. Move your body. Rock your body, rock your body, rock your body, move 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 your body. Let's do it.
questions, then I will tell you no lies. My desires are simple, the truth is there in my eyes. Nothing is off the table and there is no price to hide. I do it all for your pleasure, so take the pill and let's fly. My desires are simple, my desires are simple, my desires are simple. My desires are simple, so simple, so simple. My desires are simple, so take the pill and let's fly. If you ask me no questions, then I will tell you no lies. My desires are simple, the truth is there in my eyes. Nothing is off the table, and there is no price to hide. I do it all for your pleasure, so take the pill and let's fly. My desires are simple, my desires are simple, my desires are simple. My desires are simple. My desires are simple, so simple, so simple. My desires are simple, so take the pill and let's fly.
and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my
the weather. I just want you, yes, I
'Cause you are the light in my darkness. You put the stars in my starless sky. I need your light. And you are the hope when I'm reckless. The reason I live 'cause you're next to me. I need your light, your light. I never want to imagine life without you is tragic. Bring me back to you, yeah. I can't even fathom. Don't leave me here while I'm drowning. Bring me back to you,
Did you know that people born from 1945 to 1965 have the highest rates of hepatitis C, but most don't know they're infected? People can live for decades without symptoms, but over time, hepatitis C can cause serious health problems, including liver damage and even liver cancer. If you were born from 1945 to 1965, the CDC recommends that you get a blood test for hepatitis C. So talk to your doctor about getting tested. It could save your life. A message from the CDC.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hi, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Sal.
Hey everyone.
This is Salade.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R.
What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to DaBooth312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is fresh.
As a referee, I pay attention for a living.
While I'm busy watching the game, I need your help keeping an eye on the stands.
If you see something that doesn't look quite right, tell a law enforcement official.
We all play an important role in protecting our communities, and you can help.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
If you see something, say something is used with permission by the New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
Reaching the World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
It's on me.
Eyes are on you.
Eyes are on me. What's up, Chicago? And welcome to another episode as the stomach turns. Now, 88.9 FM, The Booth Show, man. How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's doing well, man, in Trump America. Or I'm bringing up politics already. Shame on me. But anyway, man, coming forward, man. I'm glad we got DJ Dave C with us, man. I'm excited. That's my buddy, man. We got Black Thor in the house. Ron Tinsley doing his thing. Well, the Lube man is working on some stuff, but he's here. RTW. So, man, what is going on with everybody?
Welcome back. Welcome back, big brother.
It's been a while, man. Just one thing after another, and not all bad things. Just business, surgeries, family. It was just ongoing stuff, man. But glad to be back and steady now. Hopefully, knock for Micah, and stuff like that. But anyway, man. We have a lot of different things that's happening in, I guess, the world, man, and in Chicago, man. I was just looking locally, man. I'm trying to figure out, I was reading a post where some people feel like a lot of the violence in Chicago was being done by the police, special types of police or units or somebody out there that's just trying to shoot people and gentrify areas and stuff like that, trying to force you out to move and all that. What do you guys think about that?
Honestly,
I have a hard time with a lot of the whole video aspects of it because 90% of those videos that you see out there for violence aren't shown the entire story. You just see a portion of it that people wanted you to see. So you don't know what preempted a lot of things. And I don't know if all the stuff that, people get hyped up about the littlest things so quick and easy. People don't stop to think and make their own opinion. They just jumped on the bandwagon of everyone else's opinions. Mm-hmm. So I have a hard time accepting a lot of what people, start feeling. Well, they did this to this person. Well, did you see what that person did prior to that video starting? And a lot of times the cases come out otherwise. But I get it. There's good and bad and everything. There's good police, bad police. Derek and you and I both, we worked on the job, and there's the ones that they're doing it because they're really trying to help people, and there's others that they have their own agenda, and there are racists in the police department, but there's also the good ones, and it always takes that one bad apple that makes the spoils it for the bunch and makes them all look bad, but it's not always the truth, Mm-hmm. But there is the hidden agenda, and we knew about that back when Mayor Daley was in office, junior, not senior, more so. That they were trying to
say senior too.
Well, both of them. No, seriously, it was both of them. But it really came out, I think, younger Daley, that was on their agenda. It was his agenda and his dad's that he was following through to bring back the money. And I think part of it was race, but majority of it was money more than anything. They want to bring the money back to the city, where a lot of the money moved out of the city to go to the suburbs. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to make it harder we can't even say middle class anymore because we don't have a middle class any longer. But
I got to cut you there because I'm finding more people now moving into suburbia. I'm seeing it because that's where I'm at,
Mm-hmm.
And they're going in the south and western burbs, and it's like every time I turn around, I'm getting a new neighbor or somebody's popping up like a weed. And I'm like, where'd you come from? Well, I came in from the city. Go back. So it's one of those things. But yeah, I was like, come on, man. But I mean, at the end of it,
well, let's talk about financial class then, Derek. The people that you're talking to that are coming out there, what financial class are they? And the reason I'm saying this is because one stipulation, this goes back probably 10, 20 years ago. The city and the state, city of Chicago and the state of Illinois, were giving a lot of suburban cities, townships, extra money to take in Section 8 and lower class income families to get them out of the city of Chicago, to move them there. So, yeah, a lot of people were moving to the suburbs, and those that were in the high class that moved out there that wanted to get away from people of a lesser class of financial class, started to see them come. So they turned around and started coming back to the city. And that was all part of what.
Yeah, I think I'm on my way back.
See? And you're talking about coming back too.
I'm actually looking for gray stones and big homes now in the city, where I can do my thing, man. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure a lot of people be happy because when they want to party with me, it's like, I got to come so far to your house. God,
I know, tell me about it.
I mean, really? And not just that, but if you really look at it, the American dream of having the white picket fence with a big yard, because now people are more educated than ever before. Mm-hmm. Before it was like no one was thinking about taxes. If I needed to if I was trying to get a nice home in the suburbs with a white picket fence, mm-hmm. I wasn't thinking about property taxes and all the other things that go involved in that. So then,
then they have the community, and like that's one thing about the suburban areas. I don't know about you, Derek, but they have the community fees too. So what are they called? They're not club fees, but they're
association fees.
Association fees, thank you. So they have the association fee in addition.
That's what the heck? Association fees if you're like in a gated community or towns, small township that, but no, it's not like that. I mean, we have those areas out there. Mm-hmm. And we, have our upper crusty areas in both areas. I mean, we even looking for, western suburb homes and stuff like that. But I mean, if we do anything, we're looking at acres now. We're trying to get something with some acres.
Wants land.
Yeah.
See, the new
Green
dream.
Acres, huh?
Well, the new dream right now is to live basically without having a yard to mow. If you're trying to get people to come back in the city, mm-hmm. it's a concrete backyards. It's let me get a house.
Like a New York lifestyle.
There you go. Because now I could get a condo that's the price of a house, pay that, and I can live right downtown where everybody wants to go party and go eat and all that. And I can Uber and all that because, see, back in the day, buying a car to everybody was buying cars. Now the gas prices have gone up. Car prices have gone up. Inflation has hit.
Cars cost as much as a house now.
Yeah.
Small one,
Yeah, and they're worse because of all the electronics that are in it. They're constantly breaking down, constantly having issues.
Yeah, how about it? Yeah.
You can't work on it yourself no more. You have to go, to a professional for everything. They make it something as simple as a car battery. It used to be so easy to change back in the day. You got to remove half the front end, if not all of it, to get to it.
Yeah, the
wheel, it's really, really bad.
And all that, yeah.
And I get the job security aspect of it. They're trying to keep mechanics in play, and they don't want people working on their own cars. But I mean, that's ridiculous. But I don't know. But
millennials now, they're the millennial age. They said they are more leasers and renters now. As in our age group, we were more buyers, purchasers, owners.
Well, exactly, and that was one of the things we see in the lifestyle is the fact of the whole plastics age. When we were growing up, it was about we bought something and we were proud because we paid a little bit extra, but we had it and we kept it for our lifetime and usually the generations of our grandkids. Now you're lucky to have something for a couple years. Now you have to get something new. You got to upgrade. So that is a lifestyle. Might as well rent it because that's the type of lifestyle you're in. People have to get brand new cell phones. They got to get the new.
The impatience of the youth. It's the microwave age. I want it now. And I'm living for now, and then I'm not really worried about later. I'm just trying to get what I can now, and I want the latest and the greatest as soon as it comes out. And I think that's why prices for cell phones and everything have just skyrocketed to a ridiculous rate.
It is.
Whoever thought this device that we talk on every day, we would be paying almost $2,000 for? And then the lies they put in the contract, and you buy it for this much, then next thing you know you're renting, then you're leasing. Well, how did I get from buying? So I mean, it's all these little gimmicks they do to keep you tied up. And I'm happy with my phone. I have a Note, and everybody's like, "You're gonna get the new Note?" I'm like, "No, what's the difference?" "Oh, it's got the cool new pen. You can do this." I said, "Okay, I don't use the pen I got, so I don't need it." But then what they do is they start messing the service up on your phone to the point where you gotta go like, "Dad, gotta go get a phone. They're playing me now." So now you gotta watch everything that you update on your phone, because then they hit you with something where, "Oh, your phone's not working now, man. Get into a new contract. Come be with us again. Come give us your soul for another 3 years." So I can't do it. I was watching a guy. He was complaining he had to buy 3 phones for him, his wife, and his kids, and he was like, "Dude, when I totaled up everything, I'm almost at $5,500. I was like, "Yeah, well, you're the fool. I wouldn't, But again, man, I mean,
you get what you pay for. For those folks, I'm an iPhone guy, so people, "Oh, you're paying almost $1,500. I didn't. Well, my phone didn't cost $1,500, but I get where people are saying you're paying for the name. Yes. Are you getting substantial quality? Yes, you are. Now people could argue about the provider and all that, but at the end of the day, as long as you're happy with what you got, if it works for you, to me, I look at people and I go, "How come you don't have an iPhone? It's more compatible," but it doesn't work for you. Get you.
No, I love the iPhone. I miss talking to Siri. But Siri, and I had that battle in my house when I had both phones, because I had Siri and Alexa, and they were going at it. So
did they ever contradict each other?
Man, look, because I would forget I would have Alexa on in my house, and then I had Siri, and I would ask Alexa something, and Siri would answer, and I'd be like, "What? Wait, hold it." And I know Siri's like, "Who's that other bitch?" So it was one of those things. Right. So it was one of them things going on. But I mean, it's all cool, man. Another thing, I was jumping around. Did you guys get a chance? I don't know if you did, Rob or Ron. To watch the new Dave Chappelle.
I did. That
was hilarious.
Yes.
Dave stuck it to him, didn't he?
Yes.
I mean, he
he
did. Dug deep, and people. I said, some of you guys are gonna miss it. You don't see where he's going.
He purposely was saying, kind of coming into, what's his face? What's the short comedian? What's his name?
Kevin Hart.
He did do a segment to come to Kevin Hart's rescue in a way, and I haven't heard anything from the LGBTY community on it. If I said that wrong, I'm sorry.
LGBTQ.
Q. I forgot the Q.
Yeah. But sometimes I do ask why. But go ahead.
And sometimes why. And we're not making fun of nobody. We're not making fun of
I make fun of everybody.
I am. Same here. Because I so related to him when he said, when he did the part when he was like, well, remember he's talking about when he said, think about it. I'm a black man, but I'm a Chinese man inside. He said, how do you deal with that? I'm different inside. But here's the problem I have now, and I if I upset some of you guys, transgenders, then so be it. Just bash me, whatever you're gonna do, put it up, boost my popularity. Why don't you? So I do have a problem. We have a lot of young children and young women, and now they're grabbing young Hispanic girls and things like that, and boys, and they're taking their organs. They're taking the young black boys' pelvics and all that, and then they're taking the girls' uterus and all these things. And now all these transgender people are all of a sudden saying, well, I want to carry a baby. And now they're putting these transplanted uterus in these men to carry babies because they want to be mothers now and they want to know what it feels like to give birth. And they're talking about, well, I don't have anything to do with how they come up with the uterus that they come. Well, obviously, if people are, it's only so many people dying and donating their organs. It's only so many. So naturally, when these things run out and there's a market, a black market for these things, and you need a uterus to carry a baby for which you weren't built for, where do you think they're getting them from? They're killing our kids.
Right, because you sure ain't using an old lady uterus.
Right. They're killing our kids.
Well, even the fact of, like you said, Derek, there's very few, but even out of those few that are legitimately donating their organs, not every organ, is acceptable to everybody. So there has to be a lot more out there if it's that easy now to get access. Because it's got to be blood type, it's got to be certain,
so
parts.
you kill more and more because you got to match it up.
Exactly. So
you kill it more and more, and I feel bad. We're our commercial time.
Yeah, we're at that break again. All right, guys. Real quick before we get into the tracks, I want to say big welcome to our newest member, DJ Dave C. You guys don't see Dave C right now because he's trying to learn all the ins and outs of all of our camera works, but we'll throw him on the mic real quick. So welcome, Dave. Thank you so much for being a part of the family, man.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor. It really is.
You having fun with all that stuff there? I see all these.
It's a bit overwhelming at first, but I'll get it.
I mean, this guy has had a boat party, an outstanding boat party yesterday.
Lady in green. Go ahead.
I'm going to tell her we were talking about her on the radio today.
Please. But outstanding party, and it was top notch. And I'm not just saying that because of the green. I'm just saying because of the fact that it was a very mature crowd, which I like that. Everybody was there to party, have a good time. And I don't think I saw one person that was just sitting down looking bored. Even House 13, his wife was sick, and she was out there. I mean, they didn't just play house music. They played old school hip hop. They didn't play the ratchet. No ratchet.
Never.
You would have saw me sit down if that would have been the case. They played a couple of 70s cuts, but it was more so late 80s, early 90s house cuts, then hip hop, and then R&B cuts, and then they went into salsa, bachata. And oh my God, I was
reggaeton,
like, everything. I was like,
hey, I missed a good party.
So most of the people are Bengayan today, huh?
I'm one of them. Including myself. I'm one of them. My lower back, as soon as I got in the car, I was like, oh. I had to sit down for a while before I even started the car because I was on my feet the whole time. But I mean, classy party.
Cutting crew could definitely throw down.
Yes,
do a great job.
I wanted to know more about the Lady Green because I heard she had these big coladas that she was drinking. I mean, was it big coladas or was it what was on the plate?
I don't know what made her stand out to everyone, but that green really set it off. She stood out like a sore thumb. I had multiple people ask me about her. Lovely lady. I've known her most of my life.
It was like the Green Lantern. It was like, ding.
Yeah, I'm sure you went ding.
Yes, you did. We got Mickey Calvin coming at what, 3 o'clock. So man, stay with us.
Our dear brother Noomsy, Mickey Calvin will be on the show. We always throw down a fabulous show each and every week, and it's glad to have the whole family into the station right now. You know, Derek's been gone for a while taking care of things. We just added Dave C. You know, so it's good to have the station, the full station.
And we got a lot of new tracks from all these labels that are submitting. So thank you so much to all the labels submitting the tracks. And we're constantly going to be updating that, and we'll be bringing you guys the latest and greatest of the underground sound right here. So check it out right here on DaBooth312, broadcasting from WIT 88.9 FM and DaBoothRadio.com.
You say you'll be right here. Yeah, you made me that promise. But like everything, times change. Minutes feel just like an hour. Then they're gone again. But still I'm sitting here. Wishing you'll come back, but you're gone. Still I'm sitting here in slow motion. 'Cause I'm having this feeling for far too long. Tell me that you're here, going nowhere, but back in my eyes. Whenever I feel lonely, dream of days with you by my side. I had someone to hold on to. But just like everything, people change. Feelings flow just like the ocean, and then they're gone again. Still I'm sitting here, wishing you'll come back, but you're gone. Still I'm sitting here.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salada.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
We're back. I got to send a prayerful shout out to Avant, man. That's, I feel bad, for him, R&B artist, man, going through that. I mean, it seemed like we're losing all our R&B artists.
What happened? I haven't even heard.
Well, he's retared officially out the music business. He's done after like hit after hit after hit after hit. His health has taken a toll on him. The doctors gave him 6 months to live, and he said he wanted to take that 6 months to just be with his family and get at peace with his situation and all of that. The last show he did, he looked, very badly, very shriveled up. They didn't really announce too much of what was wrong with him, but I know it was a cancerous thing going on with him. So yeah, he's not gone yet, but and hopefully, man, God has the last word on this, and maybe it'll be a miraculous turnaround for him. I'm praying that for him, his family, and his fans, and all of that. Hopefully, we'll get some music of Avance and play it. Some of his hit records, because he's got a lot of them. I mean, a lot. I mean, our other crooner, he's in jail for peeing on people, so. I don't know what to say, but I still love R. Kelly's music. I play it, and then you gotta wonder who's writing all the hits for these people now that Kelly's locked up. I mean, and then Chris Brown, all them, they don't have a writer anymore. And I guess that's why Chris Brown is dressing up like a girl and stuff. I have no idea what's going on.
Wow.
I mean, they showed Chris Brown with his hair all feathered, and he had a scarf over his head and tied up under his neck like he was an old lady. I'm like, well, what is going on with these artists now, man? And somebody says, it's that Illuminati trying to make them dress like women. And it made, did you see that? The Illuminati was on Facebook recruiting people. They need people. So the Illuminati wants you to come on in and be a part of their organization, and
if it's even legit.
Yeah, if it's legit, and become, one of the high level people and sell off your wife and children into slavery. So anything that you want to do, just get with them. I couldn't believe that. That was hilarious. But moving forward, man, I was also looking at Jaden Smith. I mean, is everybody in Hollywood losing their mind? I mean, he cut off half of his hair and part of it is orange or pink or something like that, and he does not look well. I mean, he's shriveled up himself.
I mean, all of the celebrities. I mean, look at what's going on with the receiver that just left Pittsburgh, went to the Raiders, didn't even start one game the first season of the, even one down in the preseason, and then he's already traded to the New England Patriots. Which you just went back to almost the same division that you just left, and you're getting paid less money. I mean, Steve Harvey put it best. He said, if he would have made it till Tuesday of last week, he would have been guaranteed that $19 million, or maybe it was more than that, $29 million. He was going to be up there if he would have made it to Tuesday. He got traded to New England Sunday night, and for less money, and he was celebrating. I've won. I've beat it, and then before the end of the week, he's been accused of sexual assault by his personal trainer. So, even to the point where O.J. Simpson commented.
Really?
O.J. Simpson. O.J. commented saying, "I hope it ain't true. But, this lady is saying that he did some things, and that doesn't sound like his character." First of all,
you're the judge.
Once again, quoting Steve Harvey.
If the glove didn't fit, you must have quit.
How do you, of all human beings on this planet, how do you sit back and characterize somebody? And then you're going to be a spokesperson for this guy. I would have been, if that would have been me, I would have been that. if I was that receiver, I'd have been like, look, OJ, please don't mention my name and nothing. Don't even record it in your bathroom. Don't even say my name.
OJ's like, I'm trying to help you, man.
I'm trying to help you.
Did your hand fit that crotch? If it didn't, they gotta acquit you. You know, ask Trump. Just God.
Only here on the booth.
I mean but I'm just looking at it like everybody's losing their flipping mind, man, and I'm just like, what is going on? And everybody's doing all this outrageous stuff, man. And you know, the lady, man, I just read in on the news feed today, because I get this thing called news something. I don't know, it's on an app, and I know a lot of it comes from CNN and the BBC and all these different places, but you beat your child half to death. You know what I'm saying? And and it's like, what for? Because the baby was crying. I'm so tired of hearing about these stories, especially with African American people. If you don't have the patience to raise your babies, close your friggin' legs. You know what I'm saying? Or put them up for adoption. Don't beat and kill your children because they're crying or because they're hungry and they might be sick and you don't understand why. Babies cry for a reason. One, it's healthy for them to cry. It builds their lungs, their breathing. Two, it's usually an indicator something is wrong, So, it's just different things like that, man, that just upset me, and I wish, and I'm gonna just say it out, I wish a lot of you young girls and older women too, stop having babies just to have babies or to trap dudes or all of this stuff, because you're hurting the children. I mean, it's enough that you don't care about yourself, but don't drag babies into it, man. They're innocent. They don't play a role in this. And I've seen so many relationships use kids as pawns and all this kind of stuff, man. Or I'm getting my support money. I'm taking cotton to you. Yeah. It's all this, man, so, and if you don't get your way, then you want to take it out on the child. You look too much like your daddy. You look too much like your mama. So, nah. That's
or
wrong.
these people that's in healthcare, childcare. If you're in childcare and you have a issue, or you hitting on your own kids, you shouldn't be in childcare.
Right on.
Because I tell you right now, I saw that video earlier this summer. It seemed like it was some woman from the Caribbean at this school, and she was just hitting this little girl. It don't matter what the color of the little girl. Some people might say, well, what color was the girl? It don't matter. You hitting this child upside her head, about her face, smacking her, hitting her with your palm. And all I could say is, I wish I knew who that little girl was and her parents. Because not only would I have sent that video to the parents, I would have beat the parents to the school, and I would have been going upside her head. Because how does that child defend herself? She was standing there crying, and you're going to tell this child to shut up, and then you're going to start smacking her upside her head.
My oldest daughter was a victim of that. We had a lady that we call ourselves vetting very well, and she had came very highly recommended. And mind you, at that time, my daughter was probably only about 9-10 months old. And she was, going through a little bit of the withdrawals and things like that. And she would cry a little bit more than usual sometimes, because she had a different schedule. And we would leave her with the lady. And then one day I noticed I had got my daughter, and around her eye and face was a little swollen. And I asked her, I said, did you hit my daughter? Because her eye was, looked like she was bruised. No, I didn't hit your daughter. I said, you hit my daughter. And it took, and she felt because she had a nephew or whatever on the police department, because, it really got bad. And I said, well, you can have all of that. I said, I have my history too. And I said, if we got to drag you out of here battered, bloody, and messed up, I said, you're not going to put your hands on my daughter again, and we went at it. And I said, you can call whoever you want to call. I said, I'll go to jail for you or whatever this is my baby, And I told her, I said, if you didn't have the patience to deal with her, you should have told us that, and we would have made other arrangements. Well, you can make other arrangements now and blah, blah, blah. I said, no, we're going to arrange for you to go to jail.
Yes.
Yes. And so she coincidentally got off because of her nephew. They gave her a pass, you know, and all this kind of stuff. But we wanted to make sure it was documented and everything. But man, I'm gonna tell you, man, it is some horrible people out here, and you got to really vet who you know, and it's hard to tell because everybody gives you these great first impressions, and you just never know. I mean, there's teachers that do that. You know, I watched teachers even coming up as a kid that abused other kids just because they didn't like the way they looked or how they dressed or didn't like their parents for some reason, and they were picked on by the teachers.
Now, Derek, you went to Catholic school. I went to Catholic grade school. Did you have nuns when you were in school?
They lost their habits at that time, but we still had to call them sister and brother or whatever.
We had I think 2 that were still in the habits and everything, but those were the brutal ones. Those are the ones that you got whooped from.
But your parents, here's the thing: your parents back in the day had to sign a piece of paper saying, "I acknowledge that your child will be disciplined in the school." Okay. And traditionally speaking, if your parents went to a Catholic school or some school of religion, some form of religious school, they already know what, how that was going to be handled.
Yeah.
But these folks at these childcare, but we got to flip the coin now. You got these kids now who their parents, pump all this garbage in their head, and they go to school and they're trying to punk teachers.
Oh, yeah.
And saw those videos too.
Yeah.
Wasn't that kind of kid. I'm glad, because my father would have killed me. But for these kids nowadays to have the gall to go up to an adult and threaten an adult.
Yeah, I've seen some of those videos, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier again. Seeing the entire video, know the whole story, not just, this adult put their hands on a child. But when you got the child throwing things at a teacher or smacking a teacher, and then all you see on the videos that's released to everybody is this teacher now defends himself and beats this kid down. Oh, well, that teacher shouldn't. You know what? I'm all for the teacher. That parent should have raised that child right.
That's going back to teachers carrying guns again, because my nephew, I was just telling you guys about earlier. He was walking with his friend, a friend of his, going to school. And he said he had got scared to death because his friend dropped a handgun on the ground. And these are 2 10-year-old kids. And he's like, "What are you doing with a gun?" And he's like, "My daddy gave it to me for my protection," and stuck it back in his book bag. So
well, first of all,
what's the mental state of a 10-year-old in logic and reasoning to know when and when to not draw a weapon?
Well, first off, that was right there explained everything. The father gave the kid a gun for protection. It fell
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Because he could have just took it. Yeah.
And it fell out, and it wasn't holstered or no trigger lock on it. So therefore, the parent needs to go back to school again to get taught about, first of all, if you respect guns, I'm not a NRA guy, but guns and the people that own them kill people. Let's point that out. People always say, "Well, it's not the gun that kills them, it's the people." The trigger has to be pulled, and there has to be a trigger in the hand of a person that shouldn't have a gun who kills people. Let's just point that out first and foremost. Because all of us in this room, and I'm assuming Dave C. also, has had some form of military police training. And, we're not going to go in 7 years ago, but once again, if your kid is bringing a gun to school, why conceal it? Have him bring a shotgun. He ain't gonna get in the front door. If you feel if your kid is at a school that you feel that he or she needs to bring a gun to it, you need to transfer your kid out, because then you're still not caring about your kid. Because if you know that you're telling them to bring a gun to school for protection,
school or the neighborhood,
right, get out of that area first and foremost. Second, there's nothing in gun safety that says let my 10-year-old carry. I have a problem with my 10-year-old having a cell phone. Now, we're talking about giving a 10-year-old a gun? Okay.
And you got some adult 10-year-olds that have. Yes. But I like some of the schools with their and it's like, I don't know why they act like this is such a new, innovative thing, because it was always was. You just end up bringing it back, which is coping skills. Teach, they have a thing now in the school programs, where they're initiating in some schools and they're saying, oh, it's working wonders. Well, duh. Where the kids come in and they have colors. So green is a good day, red is a bad day. Yellow is, you're like, oh, you're kind of sad. Well, no, sorry, that's blue. And then you have yellow, and I don't know why they made yellow irate, but it's like you're angry, So
what about polka dots?
Yeah, so it's one of those things. So they ask the kids, well, what color are you today? I'm black every day. No,
I'm black and I'm proud.
Right.
Proud of me.
Right. So it's like no, but that's the thing. And then they have to speak with a counselor, write down what's going on with them. And the parents say, oh, I noticed a great change. Oh, you mean you noticed that now that you communicate and talk with your kids about their problems now, instead of sitting them in their room with a tablet or a cell phone or a video game and say, hey, go work it out. Oh, yeah, duh. I don't understand these people anymore, man. I just don't. And then they act like this is a great new thing. Like, oh, talking to our kids, it helps. Does it?
All right, guys. Stick around right here for more to come. When we come back, we're going to have a live mix by ours truly, DJ Ron Tinsley, going to throw down for you guys on
Oh,
ones and
Ron's
twos.
spinning? Okay, cool.
Stick around right here for more to come. The Booth 312 on WIT 88.9 FM in Chicago and theboothradio.com.
stay the night through. Baby, if you want me to stay the night, I can stay the night through.
man getters. Every 2 seconds, somewhere in the world, a baby is born too soon. Did you know that premature birth is the leading cause of newborn deaths, not just in the US, but around the world? With each week these precious babies stay and thrive in the womb, the risk of disabilities is significantly reduced. It's not too late to make a difference. Premature birth can be prevented, and new lives can be saved. The March of Dimes has created a network of prematurity research centres developing new treatments that will assist in making a difference. The March of Dimes continues to work with parents, the medical community and governments to bring improved prenatal care to mothers and their babies. Give every newborn the chance to be born healthy. Join with me and the March of Dimes. Take the first step. Visit marchofdimes.org.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salade.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is fresh.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Reaching the World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
Unless you got
jump and stay real high. No one force or thing is gonna hold me down. 'Cause I know some secret ways to fly. Watch me. Just watch me. Jump. 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 Don't push me. Don't push me or I have to show you how I defy gravity with my spirit and 6 senses. No, there ain't no laws of physics when I float and fight and dream to stay above, to stay alive. What? You forgot I knew how to fly? Watch me. Watch me. As I fly. Watch me. Watch me.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salada.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
And we're back. And we're back with our guest, DJ Mickey Calvin in the house. Woo, woo. Oh, come on, wait, let's stop. Hold on, cut. DJ Mickey Calvin in the house. Yeah. Mikey said, yeah, woo, woo, I'm here, man. Whatever.
Mickey's just like, I just got off of work. Okay?
Right. Yeah, that's probably it, that work blues, man. Like, man, it's wind down time. What's up? But you are here, man, and we're going to get into the interview. I'll let Ron kick that off. You want to kick that off?
Well,
go ahead, man.
Well,
Start it up.
Thank you.
Start.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I want to give accolades to Mickey because I've been friends with Mickey for about 3 years now.
There you go. There's your accolades for just being friends with him. There you go.
Man.
I mean, you did it.
Doing it. Okay, interview over.
You go ahead.
Enough said. No, I mean, just out of all of the DJs, there's a lot of cool DJs out there. And I will say the first time I met Mickey Calvin was at a Renaissance party at Peace's crib.
Oh, yeah.
Peace RTG.
Yeah.
Yes.
And hopefully he'll be on the air next week. That's our guest for next week. Peace RTG.
All right.
My buddy.
Respect the groove.
And inspect the deck. You know, that dude can throw down.
Yeah.
But I met Mickey at one of Peace's house parties, mansion parties. And that was my first time hearing Mickey play.
Was that like the New Year's Eve party?
Yes.
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 That was my first time. Nice.
Hold on. We got to bring it down so we can. So that was the first time meeting Mickey and hearing him play. Mm-hmm. And then I had seen him on other Facebook videos and stuff like that because I was living in Baltimore at the time. And met him again here in Chicago. And one of the most stand-up guys that you can meet next to, you got Derek, of course, here in the room. And we have Glenn Underground. And I put you up in that entourage of folks that are awesome DJs but got awesome personalities. Because there's some DJs out there that their mind is just blown away. Hey, I'm a DJ. I can't. Oh, hey, what's up? How you doing? Right. And that's it. Talked to this guy at Renaissance over here on 49th Street. And was like about a year ago and said, hey, Mickey, how we going to get you on the show? And finally, a year later, Mickey Calvin's sitting here. So
that work life.
Just once again, if you never heard him play, you're about to. You're going to hear him today. We're going to hear his story. Thank you, Mickey Calvin, for coming out, showing us some love, taking some time out of your busy schedule. And congrats on playing at the Chosen Few Picnic.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's an honor. I don't know what to say after that.
But I mean, so tell everybody how you got started in this business. Who is your inspirations? How did you get started into DJing and DJing house music to how you got to where you are right now?
So one of the people that I got here, one of my best friends, Scooter B, so I was over at some of my friends' house. I started off just collecting music, going to the parties. Mm-hmm. So my story is I'm the original Shazam dude. So I would take the little tape deck like to the box or whatever party I went to, stand back enough to record it so Stacy at Imports could like hear without, the song. Mm-hmm. And he would give me the music. He'd be like, oh yeah, Frankie played that? I'm like, yeah, I got that over here. So that's how I was getting a lot of music and I was just really playing it at home.
Okay.
Went over my friend Jamel Munley's house, and Scooter B, Cody and Eric. They had this unique sound audio, I think it was called or something, and that was a little DJ booth.
It's like, you expect me to remember that?
Right. Like 40 years ago? Come on.
Pretty much. It's going on 37 for me. Yeah, that's almost 40 years. Yeah.
40.
So they had direct-driven turntables and, no pitch. So I'm just really watching them, and I'm like, yeah, play this, and I'm like, so this man told me I was side seat DJing. I should get up there and do it myself and stop telling us what to play and just do it yourself. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I started like working with them, and they was teaching me the beats per minute, and then we would have like little battles and stuff like that. And from there, it was just really to make music to play on the train, going to work and stuff like that.
Okay.
And really just playing at home, people started listening to me in the basement. So like my friend Taji Marshall.
There it is again, that basement. Everybody in the basement.
One of my good friends, Taji Marshall, came over when we moved on like 52nd and Hermitage, and he heard me knock on the door, asked my mom could he meet me, and I'm like, Mom, it's like it's some guy at the door want to meet you from across the street.
Don't open the door.
And it was really funny because he was instrumental in getting me a lot of parties.
Oh.
So I played a lot of, I want to say, project parties on like 63rd and Cottage Grove and other places, and house parties. He had me like booked for a lot of stuff. And then my mom was a school teacher, so she would go out of town and we would get a party at the house. And that was awesome.
Mom's gone.
Yeah, now you can talk about it.
Yeah, we'd get the parties at the house. The backyard would be packed. Garage, downstairs, that was the dance floor. Upstairs was the socialization area. You just had fun, drinks. And it was real cool because I think we got a couple of coolers and some beer. And then everybody else just kind of did the BYOB thing.
Right.
So it just, everybody that came like, hey, we're going to the liquor store. We're going to bring some more stuff. Okay, cool. And it was just great times. And from there.
Party at Mickey's.
First club. What was the first club I did? I don't even know. Wow. Oh, so.
You got to think back that far.
So my dad, I'm going to have to say he was like my biggest supporter / fan.
Okay.
When he passed, every cassette I ever did, he had in his basement.
Wow.
I mean, even he had one that was taped up, but he could still play it.
Wow.
So you kind of go down there and look like, wow, that's amazing. Like, Dad had all it. Like, I don't even remember that one.
Or you played it. I mean, when you saw that, did you already know that your dad already was a big supporter? Was that a shock to realize he was that big of a supporter?
I guess, it was the realization when you actually see, like, I mean, every tape. And I'm thinking, like, I forgot about that one. I mean, he had mixes I was just, like, experimenting with and was like, okay, well, try this out, Dad. See how you like that. So, it was kind of it was an awesome feeling on it. And it was a saddening thing because he was gone. So
yeah,
it was like, man. But, I mean, I got to...
And you didn't know this before? Or did you know
I would just give him,
tapes.
Well, to me, as a collector, I didn't really have... He taught me the mindset to make this a business. Because, I mean, in the 80s, well, maybe in the 90s, we had conversations about, not being a bedroom DJ or not making this a hobby, but, think professional. So if you go do a party, I mean, if you get $50, get something.
Right.
Don't do everything for free. I know you love this, son, but don't get everything for free.
Right.
And then, kind of instrumental in like, so if you do something, think about your brand. Think about that, So he say, if you do a party and you don't get paid, then make sure they promote the heck out of you so that people circulate your name.
Right.
But you got to get something out of doing a party, not just because you go there and play. And then you're giving them, especially if they're charging, you're giving them the benefit of having good music played, and they're reaping the benefits, and you get nothing.
Right.
So,
lessons to be listened to and learned now.
Yeah.
I mean, because we all know those DJs that's out there playing and ain't getting no money.
Right.
And you're like, you can only help as much as you can,
Right.
But without taking money out your own pocket. But, okay, so who are some of your Chicago fellow, guys that you, besides Scooter, who you mentioned, who are some other DJs that are or influential to you in your career here in Chicago?
A part of, I want to say, building things for me, and like now I look back at it like, man, I look at it now and it's like, you did a lot for me. So Taji Marshall, Scooter B, Jamil Munley, Cody, Eric, and then we started getting to people like Anthony Nicholson.
Okay.
He, How I Met Terry Hunter, How I Met Lee Collins. I mean, a lot of people. Ron Trent. I was talking to Ron when we was down in Atlanta. Like, remember we used to come over your house when you just started making music and you had like the M1 and the MPC 60. And I'm like thinking it up, like, yeah, we sat up in that room for like hours, just like watching you tinker around with some ideas and concepts, you know. So I seen him from the beginning. And they had me like do a lot of parties with them where I was like opening DJ. So when they used to do the Warehouse on Thursday, they had Thursday night. I was opening DJ for that for a little bit, for I think like a couple of months until they stopped doing it or whatever.
Okay.
And then we did like the beginning of raves. We would do parties on 22nd and like right at the bridge.
Okay.
They used to have parties in there all the time, but it was a group that they was with, and I was opening DJs for a lot of those for Lee Collins and Ron Trent. And I don't know, it just kind of carried on. So doing those things, and then every time I would play, more people would get interested. So it just kind of, hey, who are you? You know, so.
Right.
And I started working at the record store somewhere down the line, like Loop Records. I worked there in the imports when they moved over to North Avenue.
Okay.
With Stacy. And
Miss Stacy.
Yeah.
Stacy Kid.
No,
No, Stacy Kid.
No.
Oh, I'm thinking Stacy Kid. I was thinking Stacy Kid.
Was it Morgan?
Was it?
Yeah. No.
I was thinking Stacy Kid at first because
yeah, Stacy had a falsetto because when I was with Track Records, Stacy did a track for me, and I met Stacy at Imports, and he was the go-to guy.
Right.
He got in trouble for that too, though. But but I ain't gonna speak ill of them.
He could give me anything I wanted.
He was the dude. Stacy
Yeah.
was my dude, and very soft. He was almost a whisper. He was like,
Yeah.
So what's it you need? You be like, what?
The only bad thing I can say about Stacy is he rocked that curl too long.
Yeah, he did. But I didn't know he could sing the way he did.
Yeah.
I did not know until he laid a track for me. Yeah, we did a track called Now's the Time for Morgan, who was Larry Sherman's partner that ran kind of the UK division at that time. And I said, dang, man. And we had gave it to Ronnie. Ronnie was like, this is hot, because Ronnie ended up working there for a while. You know, it was just like, man, he had a beautiful falsetto. Yeah, that was my dude.
Okay, so now that you got hit up on To the Chosen Few, I mean, of course we know how that felt, but give us, from Mickey Calvin's point of view, how did that transpire? How did that come about? And how did that make you feel? I mean, you got selected. I talked to you a little bit afterwards, and you was like, you were still floating.
Well, let's
on
say
cloud
I
nine.
got chosen. That's the thing when you play for the chosen few. But it was, when I got the call, it was an honor. And from that point, it was like, it was a ride. So at some point, you have to start realizing that, even if you're the complainer about it being $50 or whatever it is, you have to realize that this is one of the biggest things like in the world that's in Chicago, that once a year thing that draws more people than a lot of festivals around the world are trying to catch up to the chosen few.
Right.
And there are a lot of great things like the Croatia thing. They just had something in, I think, what was that? And it's one of my guys, Andy London, and he does, what is it? What's the guy name? Yeah, Vocal Booth. Terry played that. And that's becoming a big thing too. But, like Andy Ward, yeah. If you travel around, there are like a lot of big festivals, but even when you go to them, it's like, like, I don't know, 10,000 people short of the chosen few. I mean, but they're awesome events,
Right.
Jihad Muhammad just had something that was really nice. So when I got the call to do this, and it really doesn't hit you, you kind of like see the promotion for it, and you're like, oh man, people are calling you like, hey, that's great. Like, you playing the chosen few, okay, cool. So then you start getting up to it. You don't know the time that you're playing until like a week before.
Okay.
So then when you kind of throw it out, and people are like, "Well, you playing that early? Oh, they should have had you play this." And it's like, well, they could have not had me on the bill at all.
Right.
So,
Right.
I mean, and then you have to understand. So I think that I'm in a good position where, I can draw some people to a party and whatever, but I don't play for that many people on a given day. So would be the biggest audience, that you have the opportunity to play for, your name to be on. So you have to look at these things as opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a blessing that I went up there the day before so I could see the setup and everything. And that's when it really started sinking in, like, oh, shoot, you're playing The Chosen Few, like tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So you're on the stage, and it's like nobody there, but you get to feel what could possibly happen.
Right.
And I'm glad I went up there. So as I'm up there checking, like, okay, this is cool. I'm looking at the setup and everything, and I'm hearing them test it out, and I'm like, oh my God, like this sounds good on that side, but it sounds amazing on this side.
Right.
I mean, the stage is like jumping, and you like, okay. So, from the time I played and was there and witnessed the magic, and first of all, I'd like to thank everybody on The Chosen Few. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to play The Chosen Few 2019. It was awesome. And from that, I mean, I was already doing stuff, so it kind of magnified it. So, when I just came back from Atlanta. So I'm in Atlanta, and it's like guys are like, giving me acknowledgement. Oh man, congratulations, dude. I heard a little bit of your set on The Chosen Few. It was awesome. And honestly, I go on their site all the time because on their videos, for the little 53 seconds that I had that they videoed, it's like at 50,000 views.
Wow.
And that's like the highest on their page. So
53 seconds.
Right.
With 53,000 views.
Exactly.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh man, that's like amazing. Lloyd Brent's like had 27,000, and then everybody else is in the 2,000 or 3,000.
And she had a good set too. I mean, I heard her
she had an amazing set.
She had an amazing set. Big shout outs to her too.
Her, Immaculate, awesome. That's a brother that we have
had him
great
on the
conversation.
Show.
Yeah,
we've had him on the show.
And Greg. His opening set actually changed the dimension of how I was going to play. I had so many ideas kind of going into it, and his opening set was like, can't play that, can't play that, can't play that. So it's amazing. The song I played was kind of like scrolling through, like, they're like, are you ready? Yeah. And it was Owner of a Lonely Heart.
That was
some yes.
Love that song.
And so it's crazy. The person that made the song, DJ Sound, person that made the song, I didn't even know he made it. Somebody had gave it to me, and it just happened to, I've been playing it a couple of times, and that was the song I just happened to be on and picked. And so somebody was like, that was great, man. You played so-and-so song. And I'm like, really? That's his? So I called him up. He didn't know I played it, first of all.
Okay.
He wasn't able to make the picnic. And so he was like, I heard that you had a great set. I'm like, yeah, interesting you say that because your song was the first song I played. And he was like, really? I was like, so you didn't see the video or anything? He's like, no. At the time, it was like at 40,000. So I'm like, I'm gonna send you the link so you can look at it. So he looks at it and he's like, God, dude, it's like it. And then it just kept going. Like every day it was adding up to 1,000.
He's probably sharing it too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I was like, dude, so I'm going to make
playing my song.
I was like, so thank you for making such a wonderful song. I'm like, I'm going to make some acknowledgement on that because, you should get credit for this. And I had asked him businessly, I'm like, what are you doing with this? And he was like, well, I'm kind of giving it away on SoundCloud. Yeah, you might want to stop that. You might want to stop that.
Right, because it's booming right now.
Right, there could be a profit out of this or something, or get the acknowledgement of something. I mean,
right.
And everybody asked about that, and it was just a great.
The fact that you were talking to the artist himself. You called up the artist.
Yeah.
And you said, hey, check this out. If you look, I'm going to send you this video. Check your inbox. I sent you a video. I'm playing your song.
Right.
That's hot. I mean, you can't get no better than that. Because for him, he wants DJs to play his track.
Right.
And here you are at the mecca of house music events playing his track.
Yeah.
So, wow. And I'm quite sure he's still thanking you to this day.
And you know, it's funny because, you know, I put out a call to a lot of people like, hey, let me get a couple of songs, you know.
They ain't send you nothing. Oh, they're probably looking at the
So
inbox
now
comment.
I'm looking at them like, that could have been your song that got 50,000 views.
Right. Right. Well, I guarantee you if you reach out to them again, they're going to send you something.
Yeah.
So
you know what? I'm going to say probably not. There's a view.
Because it goes back to being a class act. It goes back to that. Because they're going to hear this on the radio, and people are going to go to the site, listening. We're heard all over the world. They're going to go in there, and it's going to continue to grow. He's going to notice that, and it goes back to the humility, if I can say the word right, humility as a person. You're a very humble man. So you reached out. You didn't have to reach out to him. You could be like, hey, my name is Mickey Calvin. I played, and that was me. That's me right there. And you could have left it at that.
Yeah.
But you reached out to the artist, and I've done that a couple of times. When it was a brand new track, I'm on a play here on the radio. I've reached out to an artist. Couple of, like you said, sometimes they'll respond back, thank you. Sometimes you don't get nothing. I got it. But the fact that you took the time out of your day,
right,
and you said, look, I'm gonna reach out to this guy. He doesn't owe me anything, but I'm gonna reach out to him just to say, hey, look, man, thank you for that track.
Great song, though. I mean.
So with that being said, are you getting into producing?
Yes, I am. I actually have one project out now, which is, can't remember what it is.
It's a surprise.
Get lifted. Get lifted.
All right,
Okay.
get lifted.
That's out on Track Source.
Are we gonna hear it today? Are you playing it?
Campo Allegro. And yes, I will play it today.
Okay.
And so that's out now on Track Source. If you just look up Mickey Calvin, you'll find it in the arsenal, along with some stuff I did with Steve So Curly and some edit stuff that I did for him.
Okay.
And it's going to be other projects coming soon too.
So I know that you're at Family Den every Monday.
Yes.
Where are some other places that they can catch, where people can come and catch Mickey Calvin doing his thing?
They can catch me at VIP, which is out in Country Club Hills.
Okay.
With a group that I'm with called Major Move Chicago. And we do the first Fridays out there at VIP.
Okay.
So it's like me, Lil Jon, and Melvin Gentry. So
Been trying to reach out to Lil Jon after I met him, and he don't. Lil Jon, if you're watching, call me back. Been wanting to bring him on the show too, but trying to catch up with you, bro.
I think it's a conflict of his radio thing.
yeah, that might be. I was going to say that.
Yeah. But we can get Melvin. Melvin's my dude.
Melvin Gentry,
Melvin's crazy. Melvin's crazy.
So, besides those two places, can they catch you on Mixcloud, SoundCloud?
I have
website?
a Mixcloud and a SoundCloud. Mixcloud is the best one because SoundCloud, I'm going to change that over because I have complications with them. They'll drop a mix and stuff like that. Where Mixcloud
They've
is
changed
just,
a lot, yeah.
Yeah, Mixcloud to run your mix, and they give the artist credit.
Yes.
So I like that the best.
They get and they're getting ready to monetize it for both sides now soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I think actually it starts in October. So if you don't know, the DJs that put out stuff on Mixcloud, you start getting paid for your mixes. They'll start sending. I guess they're going to change that out, and then they are working harder to make sure that the tracks that are played, that the DJs and or I should say artists and creators of these tracks are getting paid as well. So, and then there's going to be certain the memberships are going to be changing on that as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Well,
just look out for that.
Well, with all that being said, we're gonna go to a commercial, pay some bills, as Rob would say.
All right.
And we're
Gotta
gonna
pay
get
them
back when we gotta pay some bills, because the lights ain't gonna be on. we're gonna pay some bills, come back, and Mickey Calvin's gonna be on the ones and twos, beating it up, chosen few, DaBooth style. or DaBooth Chosen Few style, however you want to put it.
Yes.
So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hear that? It's the soundtrack to our busy lives. But there's one thing that needs to be at the top of our to-do lists: fixing those dangerous recalled Takata airbag inflators. Millions of vehicles from 19 automakers still need to be fixed, because if they're not fixed, those airbags could cause serious injury or even death. It's not that your other stuff isn't important. It's just that, well, fixing that airbag just might save your life. Visit toyota.com/recall to learn more.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salada.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R.
What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
Hi, I'm Clint Black. Have you heard of Rett syndrome? I hadn't until my niece Courtney was diagnosed. Rett syndrome is a neurological disorder which occurs mostly in girls. It's often misdiagnosed as autism or cerebral palsy. Rett syndrome strikes without warning. A girl with Rett syndrome starts out as a happy, healthy baby until 6 or 18 months of age, when something goes terribly wrong. She loses the ability to speak, use her hands to play with toys, or even feed herself. She may also lose the ability to walk. A girl with Rett syndrome makes constant hand washing or hand wringing movements. By the time she is 3 years old, a girl with Rett syndrome is severely handicapped. The International Rett Syndrome Foundation hopes to find the families affected by this devastating disorder and provide care and research that will make a difference. Research is urgently needed to accelerate treatments and find a cure. Please call 1-800-818-7388 or visit rettsyndrome.org today. Your help is our hope.
Regional World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
what gravity is, right? That force that keeps our 2 feet, face, back, ass, ears, knees, on the ground. Something like a God-made magnet. Scientists say, if you jump, gravity is what pulls you down, 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 down. Keeps you falling. Keeps you from flying. Unless you got an engine or wings. Now I say, there's other ways to jump and stay real high. No one force or thing is gonna hold me down. 'Cause I know some secret ways to fly. Watch me. Just watch me. Jump. 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 Don't push me. Don't push me or I have to show you how I defy gravity. With my spirit and 6 senses. No. There ain't no laws of physics when I float. And fight and dream to stay above. To stay alive. What? You forgot I knew how to fly? Watch me. Watch me. As I fly. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Watch
mind, reaching to your heart. I wanna feel your soul. I wanna feel your soul. I wanna feel your
DJ Mickey Calvin.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salade.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is fresh.
When I was lonely and needed someone, you came, changed my life. When I was lonely, needed someone to hold. You changed my life.
We're back. Mickey, awesome set, bro.
Great job, man.
Awesome set
Definitely
as
great job.
usual.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Did
great
not
job.
disappoint, man. We had a great time listening. You had a great time moving around up there too. I saw a little bit. Yeah. And you know, it's interesting. You get some DJs that are very animated, and you got some that are just still as statues. You know, it's like if you touch it, they shoot up in the air. Like, why you touch me?
I don't get those DJs. I mean, because you want to sell the music that you're playing, and if you're just standing around going, that's what your crowd should be doing.
And typically the crowd mimics what you do, because if you're serious, they're serious. If you're having a good time and clowning around, they're having a good time and clowning around. Even in your train wreck blends, you know. So I've seen guys do that, but you don't notice it because everybody's having a good time.
Right.
You know, so, and I think that's the whole thing. It's about showmanship, you know, and being connected to your audience. A lot of guys aren't connected to their audience. They come in, it's a job. I'm going to play, pay me, I'm out.
Right.
You know, and the audience can feel that sometimes, and they be like, okay, and they just kind of stand around, and he's like, what? He's playing good music, but nobody seems like they're having a good time because he looks like he wants everybody to burn. Burn. So, right. But great set, man. Great set, man. I got different things going on, man, but I just wanted to say that. I'm going to turn over these guys. Meetings I got to run into as usual. But much love to everybody here, man. Who is, I guess, next week, though?
We are scheduling Peace RTG. If you, and you better be watching too, because you know you're supposed to be watching the show, supporting anyway. I'm your boy,
right.
but
Respect the rules.
but no, I talked to Peace, and he told me he is open for next Sunday. So Peace RTG will be in the house right here on the booth 312, throwing down on the ones and
Is he
twos.
still doing the thing in Flyer?
Yes. As a matter of fact,
is Trump letting him over there?
He might. You talking about Mikasa?
Yeah, Mikasa.
Yeah, I'll be there.
And I was going to bring that up too because Mickey has played.
I'm
on Mikasa.
hoping. Let me plug it now. I'm hoping to play Julius the Mad Thinker.
Oh,
you know, we've had him on the show too, and I've been always hoping to play down there. But I will say, I think the thing is, getting there is no problem. It's like the Roach Motel. You go in, you just can't get out. So you might have a problem coming back in because Mickey might be like, they're going to be like, how do we know you're American?
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to be very
You might be
careful.
Black Mexican.
Very careful. I mean, and I have spoken with a few touring DJs that have actually let go of certain gigs because of the risk factor.
Yes.
Wow.
And, you know, they're losing money and they're getting kind of upset about that. And they're saying, I wish they would get this fool, you know, because he's killing my pocket.
Well,
and then it's a thing where they're welcome, not welcome. And I think one of the guys told me, you know, one of the places he's going to play, they had got bomb threats, you know.
Well, they just changed the diplomatic watch list. That came out on Tuesday, Wednesday. If you are a DJ and you go down to places like Peru, Colombia is kind of rough, but Peru, and you're hitting some northeastern European places, I can't even say it, Slavovich or one of them Sklavovies over there. I'm not trying to sound funny, but countries that weren't on the watch list are on the watch list, and then countries that were on the watch list fell off. And we're like, how did that fall off? We not watching them no more? So if you're one of those artists that's going all over the places, pay attention to that diplomatic watch list. Because
please be careful. Please be careful. Be very selective about where you go. Make sure you know where you go. You get the chance to come back because you just never know.
Exactly.
And things like that. And I know they had rated the United States as the 5th or the 7th place. We're on a tourism alert where they're telling other countries don't go there.
Certain cities in the United States, yes.
They're telling them, literally, it's all over the globe telling them don't go to the U.S. because this could happen to you.
I mean, so danger, Roger Rager. It's all over the place. Just be mindful where you're at. Even here in Chicago, you got to be mindful where you're at.
Yeah, it's dangerous in here, man.
Right. I mean, not in this building, but, ceilings might fall down.
The sky is falling.
And
yeah.
it's an
sky is falling. You know,
school.
it's going to rain on us in here. But, man, much love, man. I wanted to get into talking about the 2020 Fest. I didn't get a chance to do that. We just have to carry that in for, I guess, next year. I mean, next week. God, so I'm burnt out.
It's 2020, so yeah, next year.
Would it be safe to say, I mean, we haven't put the flyer out yet, but I would definitely put Mickey's name in the hat to be back here for the Fan Appreciation Day if you're available. We go extra hours. It's nothing but music continuously. We'll put that date out.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
and you get to
free.
eat and drink all day while we're here partying.
Yes.
And they've always been great events here. We do them every year to show our guests that we appreciate them coming out, giving their time, and you know, it's also a good networking event because you might run into people like, I always wanted to meet you. I'm here. Have a piece of chicken. So you know, it's just that kind of thing.
Hey, Derek, should we have security standing at the door, make sure people aren't walking out with all the food and all the pops and everything?
Look, bring your own possum and grits. So
now we have had we had some guys on last week called Kite Bites. Should have them come back as well because we don't need any more Molly Pops. But yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. You'll be walking around
I'm sure
here.
Glenn will be here.
Molly Pops are absolutely right. Molly Pops.
So, you know, it is an honor, like I said, to have you here, Mickey, with us. You've known everybody that's in this room. So, I mean, I believe you know everybody in the room. But once again, thank you for coming out.
Thank you guys for having me.
What do you have anything before we get ready to get off the air? Do you have any other big events coming up besides possible Miss Mikasa? You have anything else coming up in the works?
That would that's kind of like the wind down.
Okay.
It's been an eventful summer, so
okay.
Every weekend and my job, it's like, okay, I can't take this day off because they'll fool around and fire me or something. So Mikasa, that's my last vacation. I was trying to go to Amsterdam, but I'll be going to Atlanta, I think, on the 14th of October.
Okay.
And I'm doing a bonfire party.
Nice.
I do a lot of stuff down there with a group called Free Your Soul. So my guy Yusef and a young lady named Salah.
Okay. Okay.
You know?
Amsterdam, man.
Amsterdam is nice.
Yes, it
You'll
is.
go there and you'll really think about not coming back.
They love house music out there. And
Yes,
I know,
they do.
I know some DJs on the East Coast that go every year. And I'm like, could somebody just put my name in that hat, sprinkle, you know?
But the living there, I think this, you know, so you kind of have these pre-ideas of, you know, what could happen, and it's totally different.
Right.
And that's like being in a southern state, but across the pond.
Right.
So
Right.
everybody's friendly, and you're like, people buying you drinks, and you having conversation, and it's just really about humans being human beings. And
Because all the stereotype ain't over there.
no, it's not.
The hype and the stereotype is left here. I mean, being in the military, I was in the military for 20 years. I've seen all over the world. The one thing that used to really crack me up is when you go to a beach in Europe or in the Middle East, or well, maybe not Middle East, but other places besides the United States, and you see how people are just really free with
Right.
themselves. And then you come to the United States and people are like, ooh, look what she got on, and everybody's got a gawk.
Yeah.
You know? Nobody cares over in Europe. It's like, okay, so you see some cheek, see some little of this, a little of that, so what?
Most of the people, and they, you know, especially when they found out I'm from Chicago, so they're like, "Hey, you from Chicago? You like the house music?" And I think most of the trip, people just bought me drinks. Hey, what you drinking? Let's go have some drinks.
He's like, I'm on a liquid diet for this next month.
And I mean, like, really, you probably could just be hanging out with strangers the whole time you're there.
Because socializing and drinking is not taken overboard.
Right.
You know, unlike here. Over there, to hold a pint of beer and hold a conversation, you could do that all night long and you're not getting stupid sloshed.
Right, right.
Here, it seems like everybody's trying to keep up with each other. Oh,
Yeah.
I got to keep up. You on your third beer, I got it. They don't care over there.
Yeah.
And do not try to keep up with most Europeans because they can drink you under the table.
Oh, yeah. I was like, okay, I'm done. My limit. I have an American limit. I can't do what y'all do.
So, Amsterdam, possibly Mikasa.
Well, definitely Mikasa.
Oh, I mean, you're going to go.
I'm going to
You're
go.
Right.
And it's me and my girlfriend. It's like a vacation. So we got to.
That's an awesome vacation.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we talked about it on the show. I played down there a little bit after you guys had Mikasa. It was Sunrise, and that went in January. And the people that were down there for that, I was like, man, I mean, here it's 5 degrees here and it's 85, 90 degrees there, and we're on the beach. Can't beat that.
Right.
And you're down there in October, right when the weather's starting to change here. So, I mean, for those that do not know, we'll be talking about it next week with Peace RTG. His partner Julian, the Mad Thinker, they put down Mikasa for the past 15 years now. Has it been 15 or 10?
No, they just had 10, so this would be the 11th.
The 11th year.
Yeah.
This would be the 11th year in a row. Mikasa down in Playa, or Cancun, Mexico. It's not Playa. Well, Playa, Cancun, same thing.
Well, the resort
is
the
in Playa.
Hilton, Playa del Carmen.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, it's a week of just house music from start to finish. Some really big names have come down there and play.
Yeah. Terry will be down there this year.
Oh, he is? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I know they had Dimitri down there a few years ago.
Yeah.
I just need that money to be able to go for a vacation. Other than that, I'm
Josh
like,
Milan.
Yeah, he's had him on there. There's always, I mean, that's another big DJ that I know that plays down there almost consecutively is DJ Baby.
Yes, Donna.
Yes.
Yes.
We're mutual friends with her too. And if you're watching, I'm trying to get you to come to Chicago, answer your messages because, you know, Donna's from Chicago. She's originally Chicago.
Right.
I want to bring her back home and bring her on the show. So if you're watching, hit me up. But, I mean, it's a class act down there. And we've had Julius on the show, and, you know, he says, hey, people that support, you know, that's who he usually thinks of. So.
And, you know, it's funny about that because, you know, he started off with 3 Degrees, which was an awesome party over on Weed Street with him.
Was it on Weed Street?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And I had the opportunity to play a couple of the parties, and just the vibe that they had going with it, it was amazing. Then when you meet the guys, and I remember some talk about, you know, when they kind of started doing other cities and stuff, and then I think kind of he had a vision that I don't think that everybody followed with, because I think that should have been like a 3 Degrees thing, but he took it to where it needed to be, you know. And sometimes when you have those visions, everybody can't see what you see. So.
Right. Or they're not on board with what you see.
And like you look at it now, and especially when you experience it, it's awesome. And so I was telling my girlfriend, like, hey, we could do nothing because this is all inclusive. So we got food and drink. It's drink in the room, food is everywhere. It's like, you know, you could just walk down the hallway. Oh, fruit platter, okay.
Right.
And it's a great time. I mean, the massages, and then where you know, they have swimming pools, but then if you pay the extra $500, you could be on the ocean side.
He said extra $500.
I'm like, yeah, we're gonna pass on that. We can just walk around the corner.
Right, I don't need to see the beach every time.
Right, I mean, in the courtyard side, it's great. It's a great view too. You sit on the balcony and just kind of, you know, relax, drink some wine. But it's a great vacation, and then the events that they have for that is like wonderful. So
you're right, because you've had live acts there, you've had DJs, and then they've had. I remember seeing a video, you all down there doing some kind of not Kama Sutra, but like stretching type stuff.
Well, yeah, because, you know, a lot of the
everyone's going now. Kama Sutra.
So my Atlanta family, Salah and Nina, she's very into the fitness thing. So is Lady Alicia. So I told them they're gonna really have a nice bond when they go to this event.
Yep.
But they start that off most mornings. Is always doing some type of yoga in the morning.
Because I seen them on there was a couple of videos where they were on the beach. And everybody, and it was like Soulful House playing in the background, and they was doing like yoga and stretching, and
that's like, a daily thing. And it's like, it like cracked me up the first year I went. Like, okay, y'all do yoga every morning, and I mean, and they get up for this. Like, oh, I can't miss the yoga.
7 in the morning,
right?
7, 8 o'clock in the morning when everybody had just partied to 3 in the morning,
right?
And then they up doing stretching, and you're like,
but surprisingly enough, I mean, I thought it's weird. I mean, I'm a vegetarian, but surprisingly enough, it's so many healthy people in the house community.
Okay.
More than I thought. I'm like, wait, we do a lot of late night stuff, so I don't know how that happened, but okay. But so now you want to find like vegetarian spots when you get out. Like, hey, okay, we need to find a salad, or instead of eating a burger or something greasy at 4 in the morning.
Looking for the burger. I'll eat a healthy one. I'll put more lettuce on there.
Oh, or maybe put more lettuce.
No lettuce. Maybe put some spinach on there.
Well, see, the great thing is they got this like Beyond Meat and Impossible. They're really blowing up in a lot of the fast food chains.
Oh yeah.
So like Burger King has the Impossible Burger, and it's not
I haven't
that
had
bad.
a chance to try that yet. Have you had it?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Started off at White Castle.
What?
Just to sample it, just to see how it was going to go. And I was like, okay, this is not bad. And then I started branching out to other places like Bar Louie. Bar Louie had a great Impossible Burger, and then.
Well, Subway, I think, started it all off with the veggie patty.
That patty is garbage. I will never promote that patty. It should be a hockey puck or something.
Pretty soon it's going to be imitation everything.
I'm sorry, Subway. If you're listening with that patty, you probably won't want to make me a spokesperson.
That was the first one that I remember.
But they have the Beyond Meatball that's going to be coming out sometime, I think at the end of this month or next month.
The Beyond Meatball.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know how they had a meatball sub? It's going to be a
Beyond Meatball.
plant-based meatball sub.
Okay.
You can get it just like the regular one.
We talking health.
I'm old school. Where's the beef? Give me the beef.
Being health conscious with Mickey Calvin right here. Okay, so we're almost out of time, but we got 5 more minutes left, according to Dave. And for everybody out there, we always like to close the show on a positive note. Once again, before we go into that, Mickey, can you tell them where they can find you again on SoundCloud, Mixcloud, Family
Find
Den?
me on my Facebook page. Well, you can go to my website first, djmickeycalvin.com.
Okay.
And you can read my bio, which I think I put together pretty okay, and it's still in the construction process.
Okay.
So there are things up, but there's going to be more stuff to come. And if you want to be social with me, you can go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Mixcloud, SoundCloud.
Okay.
You can find me on any of those things, and it's always Mickey Calvin or DJ Mickey Calvin.
And what nights can they find you live at? You mentioned 2 spots, one in Country Club Hills, one here in the city. What are those 2 spots and what are those days?
That would be the Family Den, each and every Monday, 89th and Stony, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get me at VIP, which is the first Friday of every month. Lil Jon plays with me every Monday, and also have Big E.
Mm-hmm.
He's the opening DJ. And then at VIP, we have Melvin Gentry and Lil Jon.
Okay.
And that's a major move Chicago event, so it's always a great experience for that one.
Now, what's the fees to get into see?
Family Den is absolutely free. All you have to do is bring a good listening ear for house music and love being there.
And the drinks aren't expensive there.
Yeah, we have $1 wings.
Oh.
Minimum 3 wings, but $1 wings you can get.
Can I get one wing?
And we
for
have
$1?
$5 drink specials. So
okay.
You want to get in on that.
Monday
VIP,
night.
we have, I think, a drink special. But the drinks are always good there anyway. They're not ridiculous.
Okay.
They have a great kitchen. The fish and the chicken, I heard, is pretty awesome.
Okay. Mad props to the kitchen out there. So with that being said, in the last few minutes on the air, thank you again, Mickey Calvin, for coming in and gracing us with your presence, playing on the 1s and 2s, telling the people about you and your experience with the Chosen Few, and hopefully they'll have you back again.
Yeah, that would be nice.
With 50,000 views on one 53-second video, that should be an encore invite. That invite should already be in your inbox going.
And if you want to see that video, you can go to Chosen Few DJs on Facebook and go through their videos, and you'll find my video, and go ahead and make it 60,000.
Okay, you heard it. Let's get it up to 60,000 for Mickey Calvin, for house music as a whole. I want to thank each and everybody for tuning in today. Rob, Derek, myself, we all love, and David, can't forget David. We all love the fact that you all give us the time to lend us your ear, to hear what we are putting out. We're putting out Chicago house music at its best. For those producers and stuff out there, you know how to hit us up. If you got a new track that's out, inbox us here at the booth.
Yes.
And you can send that in, RTW Entertainment. We'll have that up on the website. But you have a safe week. Everybody just chill for a minute. Let's stop the hate. Love one another. Have a great week. God bless everybody.
Hey, real quick, if he got 50,000 just for 53 minutes, we gave him a whole
seconds.
half hour.
Whole half.
50 seconds. You know how many views we're at?
300,000.
We'll be counting, Mickey. We'll be counting.
And you on YouTube, don't you get some money off of that or something after so many?
Hey, we're on 20-something different platforms, so 3 different TV networks. So let's see.
Nice.
Blowing up.
Let's do it, guys.
On that note, house music all night long. Be blessed. Be safe out there. We'll see y'all next Sunday with Peace RTG on the ones and twos in the house. Thank you all for tuning in. See y'all next week.
Drowning is a leading cause of accidental death and brain injury for children. The National Drowning Prevention Alliance believes we can change that if everyone follows the Safer 3 rules. For safer water, prevent children's unsupervised access to all types of water. Every pool and spa should be surrounded by a 4-sided isolation fence with self-closing, self-latching gates. All house doors that lead to the pool need alarms. And if a child is missing, check the pool area first. For safer kids, provide careful adult supervision of children when they're in and around water. Teach them how to swim and to follow water safety rules, such as never to play near drains. For safer response, know what to do in an emergency. Have a phone and rescue equipment near the pool and learn CPR. Please visit poolsafely.gov. That's poolsafely.gov and have a safer 3 summer.
Paying for insurance may not be on your favorites list, but paying more